Hello guys, this video that I'm making today or tonight, it's a video that is especially for the students that they are studying and learning IT technician, especially in Austria, in Germany, and in Switzerland, and the other countries that they have the same methods like Austria and Germany. I have to say that I'm sorry that I'm a little ill tonight and I cannot speak very well. Maybe my voice it shows that I'm a little ill, but anyway, I wanna work on this video. And this is a very important video because the thing that I'm doing is the students, they need it for their final project when they are doing a vocational school of IT or information technology IT technician. At the end of the school, at the end of the college, they have to work on a project, and that's a big exam for them. And they have to defend from their diploma, and they want to get their legal license to work on IT branches in every company that they want. Anyway, they need this project, and this is also for other people that they want to just use, or they just want to need it, or they need it in a way to install this operating system. This video is about installing a VestaCP, Vesta Control Panel, the mail server on Ubuntu Server. And what I'm doing here is I have installed inside the VirtualBox a Windows Server 2012 R2, and I have got a Windows client, Windows 10, and I have a pfSense firewall installed on the VirtualBox. And now what I have to do is I want to install the Vesta control panel, and then in Windows client I want to install the Sandbird, so that I want to check out if I am able to successfully send and receive emails from external into my internal lab that I have created here. This one, the people, they need it for their final project, to get their diploma, to get their license as an IT technician, or as a IT and system and server administrator. And you would also need it in the enterprise world. Of course, you will need it. That's the reason that we want to install this. And the problem is that I was searching some days ago in YouTube to find the same video because I need it, but I couldn't find it. And during the installation, because you know, in computer, when the physical system of the computer, when the physical stuff, when the physical things, when the physical devices of a computer, if they are working correctly, then the other things, what is going on during the time that we use the computer, we are working with the logics. The computer just work logically. And everything that happens inside the computer, inside the system, they are all logics. They are binary, 0 and 1. And the decisions that what should happen and how it should happen and how it should be programmed, how should the system work, they are all logical stuff inside the computer. They are all algorithms. That is I remember this because of this, that during the installation and after the installation, There are very principled and basic and fundamental points that we have to really be careful, and we have to focus and we have to concentrate on those points so that we can successfully install everything, and at the end we should be able to use it. I mean, in order to be able to use it. If we are not paying enough attention, then the stuff will not work out, because as I already said, that everything is logic, you know, it needs logic. That is the reason. Okay, the first thing that I want to do to install the VestaCP inside the VirtualBox, what I'm doing is that I want to go here and I click on New, and then what I want to do is I want to create a virtual machine for my Ubuntu server, because the first thing that I have to do is I have to create a virtual machine for Ubuntu server, and then I will install Ubuntu server. It's all CLI, command line interface. There is no graphical user interface. But at the end of the installation, when we are finished with the installation, with the commands and everything, then we are then able to access the VestaCP GUI interface, I mean the graphical user interface. What I want to do is now I have to create a virtual machine for Ubuntu server. Okay, I write here the name would be mail server, because I want to install the mail server here. Mail server, and type of operating system is Linux and Ubuntu 32 bits I want to install. I choose the RAM for Ubuntu 1024, it means 1 gigabyte, and we go further. I'm sure that this video will take a long time, but it is what it is, you know. I just want to explain step by step so that you can use it in a very good way, you know what I mean. And I don't want to make it complicated for you guys, so that you can use it. 20 gigabytes I choose, it's not a problem. I have an extra partition and I'm installing all of my operating systems, so all of this project inside this separate partition. So now I have installed, I have just created a virtual machine, and now I right click on the virtual machine, or I just double click on it and it will start working. And here because I have the ISO file inside the computer, I just go and choose. I have already downloaded the Ubuntu server, and it's here. I just choose it from here and I say start, and I choose a start. When I choose a start, or when I select start, then it's going to ask me some questions like the language is English, and install Ubuntu server. Yes, install it. And I want to maximize this one, and I hope you're able to see it, you know. And I choose English, United States. Asks about the keyboard, no. And it was asking if I want to test my keyboard. No, it's not a problem. English. And detecting hardware to find CD-ROM drives, that's not important, but it is just going to choose that folder that we have browsed to get the image that we have downloaded already, and loading additional components. This is the process that the operating system wants to recognize every single part of the hardware of the computer that the operating system needs to be, in a way, stick each factors of itself on the devices. I mean, this is the process of installation. Detecting network hardware. Detecting network hardware means that the operating system wants to know that how many network interface cards or NICs we have inside our computer as hardware, and in here it asks please enter the hostname for this system. What I want to do is I just write down mail server, because I don't want to make it complicated for me and for you guys. Continue. I just write down full name for the new user. This should be also mail server. This is the way how I do it, and it's optional. You can also just choose something that you know, I mean, that you can remember it, you know. This is the most important part, so that I don't want to encrypt the home directory, and I say no, and the process of installation will soon start. The time zone, it chooses automatically. This is the right time zone. I say yes, and now this will go on. Detecting hardware, please wait again. Detecting hardware. The hardware is important. As I said, that I have an extra partition. And yeah, I use the entire disk, and yeah, 21 gigabyte. Write changes to disk. Yeah, this is the way that how the Ubuntu or the Linux operating system just make the partition and make the installation process by itself. And it's better to choose the default. And yeah, the process of installation of the operating system, it takes a little time. That's why this is now copying the, it was just copying the files from the image file to the partition that we have chosen, something like 21 gigabyte I have chosen, and the process of installation is not that difficult. You can just use the guidance of the own operating system, because it's showing during the installation, so that you can select by yourself, select automatically everything, and it's not that difficult. But anyway, we continue it like this. I just want to stop sometimes the video, so that here it's still the process of installation of the operating system. It asks about the updates. I just choose no automatic updates, because I don't want it to update automatically. And here I just want to turn on the OpenSSH server as well, because I can also install it later, but I just want to choose it from here. By default there are applications that you can choose them to be installed, and we use OpenSSH later, and you would see that why do I need it. And standard system utilities we want to install, and OpenSSH we want to install, and we say continue, and hopefully it will continue. So in this part, always make sure to install the grab bootloader, because it's a master boot record and you need it. It needs to be installed, because when the operating system wants to load for the first time, I mean every first time that you just after a restart or after a shutdown, you need that one, because the system will start to load, and that one we need. In this part, it's the end of the installation. We just click enter, and then the operating system will start to remove the ISO file or the installation file. And as you can see that the Ubuntu is already installed, and when the Ubuntu is installed, then we have to take care of the stuff, and we have to do some other things like I want to show you now. It's important. I don't know if I can zoom it a little bit. Yes, I can. I would like to do it like this because it would be better for you guys so that you can see it a little clearly. So now we are inside the Ubuntu server, and we had a login user, and I mean a login username, and we had a password. Now the Ubuntu, the server, as I have to show you guys something, I have got a firewall here. It's a firewall, it's already installed, and the firewall has a DHCP IP, and the one IP is DHCP, and the LAN IP is just it's a static IP I have configured. And what the hell just happened? And yeah, now what I want to do is, excuse me, what I want to do is I want to show you guys that I have a Windows Server operating system here as well, and we would need it really because I want to show you something. As you can see, we have a Windows operating system here. I mean a Windows server. And now what I want to do is I have to assign IP address for my server so that I can create a communication between the Ubuntu server and firewall and Microsoft Windows server and Windows client. And after that we are able to install VestaCP on our server. Okay, I put my username here. The username was mail server, and I had a password. I have to put the password here, and I'm putting the password inside. I'm inserting the password. And as long as we haven't set an IP address into our server, we are not able to do anything. We are not able to install the VestaCP or Vesta control panel. And the first thing that I want to do is I want to set an IP address. To do that one, we have to write down I write down a command here, and then this will work out for us. Sudo nano, it's the nano is it makes a facility for us so that we can change the directories, we can change the commands inside the Linux. Nano, and then etc, and then network, and then interfaces, yeah. And now I have to put the password again. I hope I can do it with this password, otherwise, oh my god, otherwise I have to do something else. I mean, I have to go inside the root user. As you can see, it's written here DHCP, Dynamic Host Control Protocol. I clean this part, and I write instead of that static. And then I enter, and then what I do is I press the tab and I write down address, and then I press the tab again, and then I give a IP address for my server, and the IP address for my server would be 10.10.10.100. I would like to choose this one, and then I push the tab again and I write down here net mask, and then tab, and then the net mask will be 255.255.255.0, and then again tab, and then I write down broadcast address. Oh, sorry, network address. Network address. Network would be 10.10.10.10.0, and then the broadcast address we write down here broadcast, and then we write down here the broadcast address is 10.10.10.255, and then enter and tab again, and then we write down here the gateway, and the gateway address would be the address of the firewall, 10.10.254, and then again we write down the DNS name servers, and then tab, and then we write down the address of the I just write down the address of the my Windows server, because that is the DNS server of mine. And now I have to save it. I press on Control X, and then I press on Y, and then I press enter, and it should be now changed. And now I have to write down a command that the changes should be affected. I mean, they should affect, the changes should I'm just a little ill. I can't just concentrate a lot on what I'm saying. I'm sorry, and I have to write down here another code so that I can be sure that everything is working correctly. I mean, I have to what I want to do here is, now I want to it's something like restarting the network interface card, so that the changes should get effect, or the changes, they should affect it quickly. And I'm going to do that one now for you guys. If that is not working, I can also reboot the server quickly. I reboot the server, and hopefully this will work out. This video takes a long time, and this is not my fault. It would really be a long video, but if you are good at it, and if you are doing it well, you can just use those parts that you really need. It doesn't mean that you have to just always do what I'm doing, you know. Again, I'm going to log in inside my server, and let's see what can we do now. So now I'm inside the server, and I want to check out my IP address, because I changed. To change IP address, to check out IP address in Linux, we just write down fconfig. In Windows, we just write, yeah, as you can see that in the first part, the IP is changed here. This is the IP address, and this is the subnet mask here. It means that the IP is changed. And can we ping our gateway? I'm not sure because I haven't configured the network interface cards. As you can see, we are not able to ping the gateway because it's saying that the destination host is unreachable. What we have to do is we are coming here. As you can see, this is the cursor here. I bring the cursor down here and I choose this one. I change to internet network, and this one I say I choose allow it for all virtual machines and then host. It means allow this one. And what I want to do is I want to close this one time, and I want to come here and network. Still it's not working because I have to turn it off, and this is the reason that it takes a long time. You know, I'm not pausing the video because I want you to learn it step by step. You know, it's very important because it's all logics. You know, if you don't know something, if one part or if 1 minute or 2 minutes of writing the codes and writing the commands fail, you will really have a problem. You know, it's the first network and the first adapter or network card we get it internet network, and the second one we get it network brücke. It means that network bridge. And this one we also we allow it, and then we choose the network interface card here, and yeah, okay, and then we start our server again. The moment that we are able to ping our Windows server from inside the Ubuntu server, then we are able to let the Ubuntu server to be relaxed in a way. I mean, the interface would be relaxed, but we are able then to use the SSH or secure shell. That will be fun for us because that will be a big facility for us. Server, I mean, that's easy. That's the reason that we use the SSH, yeah, the secure shield. Now I want to ping my server or my gateway. If I'm pinging my gateway and I'm able to ping it, I'm successfully pinging my gateway, then I'm also able to ping the server. As you can see that I get a reply 100% and 64 bytes. It means that I'm able to ping the gateway, and I'm able to ping the server, the Windows server. Now I let this one to be like this. I minimize it and I go and access my Windows server. In Windows server, I just want to log into Windows server now. And I write down the password here. When I'm inside it, I just want to show you something. I have already installed PuTTY here. With the using of the PuTTY, we can access the telnet, the serial cable, the serial console, and in here I want to use SSH or SSH, the secure shell, and I just write down the IP of the Ubuntu server. See, the IP of the Ubuntu server were 10.10.10.100. And now let's see, for the first time we get a warning, potential security breach, and we say yeah. And the moment that you say it, yeah, then we are getting this shield here. This is the secure shield. And now, excuse me. And now I want to write down here the name of the mail server. The username was mail server, and the password was whatever we have given. Okay, now we are logged in inside our server with the we are inside our server, Ubuntu server, through the SSH or secure shell. So what I do now is I want to update the server for the first time, and then I go and install the Vesta control panel. To update the server, we write down sudo apt get update, and we write down the password. And I'm updating the server now. Okay, and the server is updated, and maybe I should also upgrade it. Okay, I hope it doesn't take a long time, because I don't like to waste a lot of time with this. And it's the process of updating the server, as you know. I think I can make a little changes here, something like I can change the font here, and I would like to do it for you guys, because then we are able to see the fonts a little bigger. I mean, I will take it 80, and let's apply. Oh my god, it's too big, yeah, but I think it's still okay. This is the way how it is, and yeah, it looks a little stupid, but it's still okay, I think. So we are in the process of updating the server. I mean the Ubuntu server from the secure shell. So now the updates are being the process of upgrade is being finished, and I would like to. Oh, that's not important. I can do it in another way, but I mean, I was talking about the background of the computer, the background of the Windows server. This is going to be end up